Disclaimer: the following program features language not suitable for all audiences, and the expressed opinions found within this program are a reflection of those who feature on the PopCulture Effect podcast. Welcome to the PopCulture Effect. I'm Rockin Rob, and on this show I bring my closest friends together to talk about all of the news happening in our pop culture world around us.
Hey there everyone, Blaze here, hosting today's episode of the PopCulture Effect, and I'm here with my three besties. Robbie is still locked in the editor room, so we don't have to worry about him, but I'm here with Menace.
Hello.
Subset.
Heyo.
And our gremlin Gemini.
Hello.
So this episode's gonna be a bit of part two to last week's episode where we talked about the reactions to the nominations to the Game Awards. This episode's gonna be talking about what happened during the Game Awards, talking about some of our views on who won for each award, and then talking about a ton, and I mean a ton, of the games that got announced during this Game Awards. There's a lot. There's like, how much, Menace, how much did you say there were?
There are like 59, 60 either games, DLCs, or other announcements coming out.
Jeez, that's a lot. Which is very interesting, because I didn't save it, but I saw something about the ratio of awards time to game announcement time, and it was like somewhere between 25 to 30% was only used for the actual Game Awards. The rest of it was for any kind of game announcements or DLCs and whatnot.
Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, it has an up and down to it, because the whole point of these Game Awards were to give our love to the people that were nominated and who won each award, but it's also kind of nice to get something, to get like a big event that shows off a bunch of stuff that's coming out. Because with E3 pretty much being dead at this point, it just kind of feels like the Game Awards is turning into the new E3. I don't know if it feels like that for others as well, but it definitely feels like that for me.
Essentially.
But
well,
yeah.
I never watched these stuff before, so
I try to tune in and watch the Game Awards every year because I find it entertaining.
I don't care who wins.
Thankfully, we didn't have someone sneak on stage like last year.
Oh, I was gonna say, this is the first time I've ever paid attention to, like, Game Awards.
But yeah, before we get into this, just want to say thank you for those who are listening in on CJSW, and for those who want to check us out on YouTube for full unedited versions, check out our YouTube channel at the PopCulture Effect. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out if you get a chance. We'd really appreciate it.
And tip, please. We broke. We need money.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
Quit begging!
I mean, YouTube did just come out with memberships, so...
Please, we need to feed Robbie. He's stuck in the editor's room and we can't let him out. But figured we can start where we started, talking about the nominations, and just kind of go working our way from the bottom up to the top to the big awards like we did last time. Probably burn through a lot of these a lot quicker than we did last time, because this time we already know who won, so we don't need to talk about all the ones. Although if we have any opinions on who we think should have won instead, we'll probably talk about those a little bit. But I guess
I'm actually wasn't that surprised at most of them.
yeah, a lot of them were pretty clear-cut victories, but a lot of these first ones are probably quick burn-offs I can go through, and then we can start getting off into a lot of the more notable ones. But first one, we have the Best Esports event, which the winner of that was the 2023 League of Legends World Championship. Pretty easy one of that. A lot of the league championships can go pretty hard for events.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that one was, I feel, kind of in the bag.
Best Esports coach was Christine Potter Chai, or Chi. Man, I feel like an asshole butchering a lot of names on this podcast. I swear, I feel bad.
It's gonna happen, but
she's
we'll try our best.
but she's a Valorant esports coach. Best esports team winner was JD Gaming for League of Legends. I feel like that was another one that was kind of a easy pick.
I'm gonna be honest, I always thought Counter-Strike was gonna win that one, but you know, I don't watch a lot of esports, so I wouldn't know.
That was actually my pick, was Team Valiant for Counter-Strike.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I liked the vibe of those guys. One of them had a beard in the background. I picked for that because of that guy.
Yeah.
Respect the beards.
Never.
And best esports athlete went to Lee Faker Sanghyuk.
That was another one that I kind of figured was gonna happen.
Yeah, no, League of Legends player.
Big is just
And
good.
Best esports game, which was a shock for me. I expected it to be League of Legends, but it ended up being Valorant who won.
That did surprise me.
I feel like it's because it's the new hotness,
Yeah.
The new CS:GO.
essentially.
Isn't Valorant? I haven't really played Valorant. It kind of, from what I've seen, it kind of looks like a combination between Counter-Strike and Overwatch.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Is that, that's
Yeah.
okay, I nailed it.
More dominant
You
than
have different-
CS:GO play
You have
style.
different heroes that have different abilities, but you also have the buy system of CS:GO.
Yep. And then, sorry, what were you gonna say, Gemini?
No, I was just agreeing. Like, I never played it, but I heard it was like, oh, I got a skin for my gun. I'm like, what the f?
And then last one for these smaller categories, we got Content Creator of the Year, which I think was a pretty easy choice. Iron Mouse was the one who won.
Let's go!
She's
Let's go!
hilarious.
I don't even know these people. I feel like a boomer.
But
Iron Mouse, you should watch Iron Mouse. She's very entertaining.
the next day, I actually watched her clip that she posted of her reaction to winning, because they had her do a audio recording before the awards that they played during the Game Awards of her winning. But she thought it was just a thing that they had all of them do for being nominated. So she lost her shit and like cried for like 10 minutes after realizing she won.
I did watch a YouTube short about her, like, telling her parents that she won an award, and like her dad was really impressed, and then her mom was just like, what? What's that? And then, like, I guess another content creator, someone won an award. I don't remember. It was like some fancy guy or whatever. And she was like, oh, your fancy friend won one too.
Yeah, they're friends. They always stream together and like are on collab together.
Yeah, her mom really likes him. Finds him a
Yeah, I
nice
just
man.
thought it was funny that, like, you know, her daughter wins an award and she's like, okay, is that good? And then her friend wins one and she's like, oh my god. It's like, wow. I feel that though, you know, like your parents, you do something, your parents are like, okay, and but then like your best friend doesn't, like, holy shit, your friend's amazing. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to the next one. Menace, you want to take over the next few?
Yeah. So for most anticipated game, the winner was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which I can understand, but I'm still waiting for Hades 2 more than that.
Honestly, same. I still need to play Hades. I still need to play Hades, the first Hades. I'm waiting to find a copy on the Switch. It's hard to find that game.
You
It's
might
so
just have to
good.
cave and get digital.
I know, I'm a collector, god damn it.
It's either that or you'll get a scalp to hell price.
Yeah.
Best adaptation, we have The Last of Us, which, yeah.
I'm gonna say now, it was, in my opinion, it was a really good lineup for that one.
Oh yeah, it was.
I'm really happy Last of Us won, but I thought for sure it was going to be Super Mario Bros. Just because of it being the biggest one that was in theaters.
I was hoping for Twisted Metal, I'm gonna be honest.
I'm kind of not surprised that it won because while, yeah, I'm sure Super Mario Brother the movie probably has a larger group of people that enjoy it, I feel like The Last of Us had a larger group of people who would go on here and vote. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, though, like, the fact that Last of Us was, like, 1-to-1 almost.
Small changes that really didn't felt like it mattered, but it added more. to
Is
the story.
essentially, they incorporated the notes you find, essentially.
I think one thing they did was really smart too, was with the show, they did what was in the original concept of the game, where it was fungus, that infected you instead of it being spores in the air, because that makes a good game mechanic, but it doesn't really do good for a show mechanic. So it was really smart that they went back to the old concept of how people get infected.
I just hope they don't do giant fungus monster in season 2.
They are gonna do giant fungus monster. What do you mean?
Okay, if it's like Rat King or something, I can understand that. But if it's just giant fungus monster, not even human, no.
Speaking of Twisted Metal, though, Anthony Mackie did appear at the Game Awards to give one of the awards out, and I believe he did say that Twisted Metal's greenlit for season 2.
Yeah.
I've been seeing clips of it, and it looks hilarious. Like, it looks good.
Yeah, legit. For it being in the Twisted Metal universe, it's doing pretty well, being pretty one for one. A little bit comedic tones, specifically when Sweet Tooth gets on, but you know.
But that's the
just-
thing. He's crazy, and that's why he's my favorite. For best multiplayer game, we got Baldur's Gate 3,
One of
which
the
Party Animal.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly thought it would be Party Animals just because that kind of took over the streaming scene and everything, and it is a good, like, just
So fun.
play. You can play for hours and not even realize, like...
Okay, but you can also also do that with Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes.
Play for hours with your friends, not even realize.
Or by yourself, who most people kind of don't.
Okay, how many people can you have in Baldur's Gate? Because it still hasn't come to Xbox. So
Four.
Hey, Menace. Fun fact.
They did.
It came out the night of the Game Awards.
I was gonna say it is available now. The only thing they don't have is crossplay yet, but I guess it's on the roadmap. But it is available for all of the major platforms except like Nintendo. But honestly, I cannot see the Switch running this game, so that's understandable.
Nintendo's in its own sphere.
I was gonna say, yeah, Nintendo, like, they don't count. It's like it's like across all major platforms.
Yeah.
This is the first of many awards that Baldur's Gate 3 won.
We said it. We said it in the first episode of the Game Awards. Like, Baldur's Gate's just gonna sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, like...
Though one thing that shocked me, Spider-Man 2 didn't win any awards.
Anything.
Not a
I saw a lot of people getting
one.
salty about that. I saw a lot of people getting salty about that.
And on top of that, Insomniac just recently received one of the largest leaks in video game history. The ransomware responsible for this leak threatened Insomniac Games and demanded $2 million and threatened to release 1.3 million files with employee personal information and details on future projects. All of this can be found on Reddit, and it reveals basically the roadmap for Insomniac Games for the next few years. And honestly, it was just really terrible because now Insomniac Games are unable to release these games or reveal these games in the way that they wanted to now that all the information is out in the open. But I do credit Insomniac Games for not bending the will to ransomware and to actually stand their ground despite the risk of the leak.
A lot of people were recording themselves to the Game Awards. Some people were getting absolutely livid that Baldur's Gate 3 was winning some awards over Spider-Man 2 and a couple others for no reason.
As a big fan of Spider-Man and seeing enough playthroughs of people going through the game, I'm gonna say this right now, they just could not accept the fact that game like Baldur's Gate 3 won because they consider it as a nerdy game and shit like that while you're playing a superhero. Like, dude, that's kind of nerdy. Like, come on.
Hold on a minute. So these people, right, they're playing Spider-Man game, which,
or who just play COD as a secondary game.
I know, because I actually saw a meme about that where it's just like, Baldur's Gate 3, what the hell kind of game is that? Why would it win an award? The only game they play, Call of Duty and Fortnite, the most basic Wonder Brick of games.
I heard a complaint that the fighting or the game style is boring. Like, dude, it's literally a turn-based. If that's not your thing, why are you playing a turn-based?
Right.
Yeah,
that's the older criticisms and flack people from who wanted Spider-Man to win, at least Game of the Year or some shit like that. They just need to understand. All right, it's a good game, but Baldur's Gate 3 did a lot to garner all these awards.
Oh, they really did. And
this is no brainer.
Because here's the thing. If you are not a fan of that type of play style and game, that's fine. That is 100% fine. I'm sure there are games that all of us enjoy that the other does not. That is perfectly fine. However, you do have to, you do have to. I'm not the biggest
fan of turn-based, but I'm still gonna play Baldur's Gate because I know that there's so much to do in it, and it's actually worth.
Yeah, and if you don't have the patience or the, if you're not a big fan of that in general, you just never really like the whole fantasy genre, I get that. However, you have to understand, and if you look into the game, it was worth it. I'm sure there were games that won Game of the Year in the past that I probably would look at and be like, what the f***, why'd that thing win? It looks like dog shit. But that's because maybe I don't like it.
And there's still gonna be DLC coming out for it eventually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, for Baldur's Gate.
Well, more than likely, since they've done so well.
I'm not sure.
If I remember correctly, I think Larian Studios said that they wanted the game to be fully out. There's no plans for extra stuff for it.
Yeah, Larian's not really one to do DLC because their other big titles, Divinity, I don't think they had any DLC. I think the most that they do is add a little bit of extra tidbits and updates, and then they move on to their next project because, they want to release a finished game, and if they think of a few last minute things that could be wiggle wormed in with updates, they'll do it. But honestly, I don't think they're much for DLC. DLC.
Or they might do like a definitive edition a few years later.
I was gonna say, yeah, they might do that because they did that with, I think, Divinity. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna do a DLC for it. Which honestly, the game's been out now.
When I meant DLC, I meant like just adding like more story stuff, more missions or more quests. I mean,
probably not. But I mean, to be fair, the game is massive. I haven't even beaten it yet, and it's been out since like what, August?
Yeah, I know.
July?
I've known people who have done almost 8 playthroughs at this point, and they're still finding stuff they haven't done yet.
Yeah, like I came close to beating it not too long ago, but then I realized I missed a lot of content. So I just deleted my first save and I have restarted it. I was near the end. I was probably like maybe 3 or 4 missions away from the final boss. And I deleted my whole save because I was like, shit. I realized, because I was doing another playthrough, and I realized I missed Lae'zel's entire like arc starting at the second act. I missed her entire arc, like character arc, because I think it bugged out. And I'm like, well, that. I have to go back and see what the frog wants. And I deleted my whole save.
And while with Spider-Man, you have one linear story that you gotta go through. You know what you expect each playthrough, so come on.
One thing I did see about that is, like, this might be a bit of a hot take, and I, for one, can't really say too much because I think I played the one that came out for the first one that came out for the PS4, like, for like 20 minutes. So that's the most I've played of a Spider-Man game. But I remember I saw a comment where someone was just like, you know, Baldur's Gate 3, while it is the third installment of the game, it's still like rather fresh content. With Spider-Man, a lot of it is kind of reused content from what I've heard, in the sense of like it's a similar storyline. Does it make sense? Like it's nothing new. Again,
you're on the mark.
Worldwide,
the mission
that's a lot
system.
Yeah, the mission system's pretty same. Like the world is pretty much the same because it's still in New York, but they just expanded it to other parts around New York.
Yeah, and like I said, Baldur's Gate 3, it's, you know, 3. It's the third installment of the game, but I think it's been so long since Baldur's Gate 2. It's been an intense graphical update since then, and like I think there's a few like characters that are nods to, you know, from the last games, but they're like old as hell.
Yeah,
and
you don't need to play any of the other ones to be able to play 3 because it has its own story.
Yeah, it has its own story. I think it's like set at least 30 to 40 years, if not longer, after. Yeah, I think it's set a long time after, I think, Baldur's Gate 2, and it's just it's more relatively fresh. While I heard with like Spider-Man, it's like it's not a new story from what I've heard. Again, I can't say much. I've never played it. I've only played the like first one for the PS4.
It's
like 20 minutes.
It's essentially
no
the team up that they all asked for. They wanted Peter and Miles to both show up together.
Now, for somebody who has been watching a lot of the playthrough for the first and second game, the game was great for a superhero game, but I'm sorry, but Baldur's Gate 3 really took the cake because it did way more than Spider-Man could do when it got.
My favorite thing about Baldur's Gate is just like you don't have to, it's not always fight like me, group of enemies, get into turn-based combat, fight. You can like put an owl bear on boxes and knock it over, or use wind gusts to knock them off a cliff. There's different ways.
Seduce
or you can
the final boss.
Or you seduce the final boss, or just talk your way out of it. Like there's so many different ways. Or
Fireball. Well, yeah, it's like that's, you know, again, you can do
D&D logic.
Yeah, it's D&D logic. Like, yeah, of course, you still have the game limitations because it is a game, and obviously you
have
can't.
Have you seen how high people have stacked that owl bear?
Okay, yeah, but the thing is, though, when I played with someone, he was playing a wizard, and he was using fly or whatever, and he was trying to get to this one portion that looked like a game map, like a secret area, and it was just a set piece, and I'm like, my dude, no, what are you doing? He's like, well, in D&D you can use fly and you can go longer than 18 meters, and I'm like, it's a game, it has some limitations.
Speaking of D&D logic, I am worried for my next session of my D&D campaign with my group, because my party literally has a bomb.
Literal bomb.
They managed to find a bomb in my setting. I am worried what they'll do with it, because it's pretty much a nuke of radiant damage.
Oh, hey, there's one of those in Baldur's Gate 3, spoiler.
It's a holy hand grenade, is what you're saying.
Holy hand grenade.
Pretty much, goddamn.
But continuing on, Subset, did you want to take these next few?
No. Yeah, don't worry. We're on the best sports in racing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so for that segment, Forza Motorsport won that one, which, yeah, I expect that to win because Forza has been pretty good No, I am a little, as an inner child here, I am disappointed because I thought the Hot Wheels were gonna win, just for my inner child.
Yeah, I think Menace, you voted for Hot Wheels too, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually did. I same thing with you, Subset. My inner child called to me, and I was like, you know what? I don't even care about the other ones. Hot Wheels is getting my vote.
I voted for Forza because that's what my roommate plays. So when I see him playing that on Steam, I'm like Forza, and then I saw the option, I'm like Forza.
Yes.
Brain simple.
Bunga bunga.
Pretty much.
For best sim and strategy, it was Pikmin 4, which deserved.
I'm not surprised.
It's a cute game that actually makes you work your brain. Like,
I wanted City Skylines 2 to win, but its launch was pretty bad, tragically, because that is just the curse of Paradox games. It's the curse of Paradox games. They always have poor launches. So it wasn't gonna win it. I wanted it to, but I knew it wasn't going to.
Wait,
and I'm not City Skylines 2.
Oh.
And I didn't think Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp was going to win, because it's literally just a remaster of the first two Advance Wars, which, albeit was a good franchise, a remaster that wasn't going to win. And then Fire Emblem Engage, I heard did terrible.
Wait, I had no clue about Fire Emblem, not gonna lie.
I don't play many of the Fire Emblem games either, but this game kind of came out, was popular for like 2 days, and then just completely dropped.
I've never heard of Company Heroes 3. I'm gonna be honest here. I have not heard of that one.
I've never heard of that one either. Oh, yeah.
For best family,
Oh, okay. I can see.
Super Mario Bros. Wonder won for best family.
Didn't we call that? Didn't we call it?
I knew it was gonna win. I didn't want it to. I wanted Party Animals to
I
win.
didn't want it to.
No joke. Subset, you weren't here during the first part, but
No, it was not.
literally, I have a disdain for Wonder being on here because the game came out 2 weeks before the website came up to start voting for games. I don't understand why a game that came out 2 weeks prior to the awards, to the Game Awards, could be on here. Nintendo had to completely pay them to put it on.
They probably did.
But yeah, I will not stress how much I feel like there should be a stop point of like at least a month before the Game Awards is where they should put a cutoff, and any games that come out after that should be considered into the next year's Game Awards.
No, because then they'll miss out on the Nintendo money, and nobody wants to miss out on that Nintendo money.
No one wants to miss out that money. If for preference, I didn't realize how many seconds they did. Holy crap.
Oh, yeah.
For the best fighting, Street Fighter 6, which, I expected that one to win.
I'm really happy they did win. I was expecting it to be Mortal Kombat 1 just because it's Mortal Kombat. People lose their mind over that game.
Same, and from what I heard, this one did well story-wise.
It did well, but the only thing I'm pretty sure that Street Fighter kind of got an edge is the mentor system that they have going on in the open world where, the custom in the little open world, you can interact with random people, fight random people. It just made it more immersive compared to Mortal Kombat.
That is fair.
For best RPG, you guys want to take a guess?
Fantasy 16?
No, Boulder Gates 3, boy. Come on.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of that, I actually, the leader of Bethesda, Todd Howard, correct? That's his name?
Yes.
Yes, God Howard.
Howard.
People are making memes of like looking at his face throughout the entire Game Awards of him not of Starfield not being barely being nominated at all throughout the game. Like he was on as a nomination for best RPG, but I think that was the only thing that Starfield was nominated for.
Dude, look, Starfield.
It was shit.
It was shit. Like it was shit. I'm sorry. Like just looking at the gameplay and whatnot, I'm like, this is what we've been waiting for? Really?
I know, right? Like what?
That's not what I was waiting for.
Fucking 76 was better than this shit.
It really was. It really is.
Didn't they say we were supposed to get space magic? When the did we get space magic?
I think the space magic was the big floaty chunks of random shit that you find for the story.
Well, I could have sworn one of the early trailers they actually showed the character shoot out from their hand.
They
probably got too overambitious, like a lot of these big developers do, and then they realize they can't put their money where their mouth is, and so they scrap a lot of ideas. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Bethesda purposely scrapped that because they're like, you know what, our modding community is so huge, they'll be willing to pick up our slack. Which they should not be getting into that mindset, but they have, because they know that the modding community for Bethesda games is probably one of the biggest modding communities on the internet.
That's why I feel like modded versions should not count towards, like, I don't want to say like played hours on your account, but like, you know, like towards logistics and stuff like that.
Well, I know with Bethesda, I don't know how Starfield, but I know with like their other games, it doesn't count towards your achievements, which is kind of stinky, but meh.
Yeah, I'm saying like if you're playing someone else's build, it shouldn't give Bethesda it shouldn't make Bethesda look good because you're doing something that someone else made.
Yeah, but yeah, I played like I tried so hard to get into Starfield.
I got lost in Atlantis for like 6 hours.
I was never really interested in it, even though when Menace tried to get me into it.
Every time I would walk past someone, like I thought it was cool because every time you walk past someone, you're like, oh, something's going on. There's a new thing. But by the time you're like you get halfway to your story mission, you have like 30 side quests in your inventory.
I mean, yeah, that's just a Bethesda game, dude. Come on.
I was gonna say Skyrim did the same thing, but like it wasn't as overwhelming.
Yeah, but moving on from that little debacle.
I do feel like Final Fantasy 16 would have won if Baldur's Gate 3 wasn't on this list.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like this was such like a terrible time for other RPGs to like launch. This last year was
mainly like multiplayer games and stuff, though.
Well, no, because of Baldur's Gate 3 and how well it is, like other RPGs, like a lot of them, I don't think they really stood a chance.
It's like Diablo 4. It came out, it was doing good, but the moment Baldur's Gate 3 came out, everyone from Diablo moved over to that, and Diablo 4 just died.
Yeah, because Diablo 4 was garbage.
I still find it hilarious to hear that because, like I said, the two people that I knew who played Diablo 4, they f***ing loved it. You know, they were obsessed with it. And, you know, I tried to mention, oh, why don't we play Baldur's Gate 3 together? And everything is really good and all that. And again, I was playing the early release, so I already knew that, you know, the promise that it had. And they just kind of like laughed. They're like, nah, it's not going to be as good as Diablo 4 because it's a corn game, if you know what I mean. And I'm just like, holy shit, I hate when people say that because of like a few instances in the game. Ooh. And they refuse.
Never played a mature game?
Oh no, they do, but it's a weird like superiority thing. That
Fun fact: a free-to-play version of like similar to Diablo is doing better than Diablo. They just did like a massive update for a new class. They just did a massive overhaul with that one class. Well, you know, in Diablo, you need to spend money if you want something new. You need money.
That was
Diablo
more.
4.
That's the main complaint I've been hearing from Diablo 4 was just, you just throw money at it.
So it's a pay-to-win RPG. That's disgusting.
Oh God.
To be fair, it is a Blizzard game. I shouldn't be surprised, regardless of whether it's Diablo 4, Diablo Immortal, which I think I played a little bit of that. You know, Blizzard games are just pay-to-win at this point. So
You know what's not pay to win?
Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, and the next best action adventure game, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
It was gonna win. Nothing else on that list was gonna come close.
No, I don't think
Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, Resi 4 should have won.
Resident Evil 4 because of a bitch.
Honestly, I agree with Subset.
I definitely don't think that a remake should win.
Don't care. It's a fine.
If it was a remaster, I get your argument, but it was a remake. They literally redid the whole game.
Yeah.
In a different engine, you know, they completely changed the camera style. They even changed like some of what you do in the game. You know, they completely chopped out certain bits and added new bits. Like it's not just like it's not a remaster, it's a remake. They remade the game from the ground up.
Mm-hmm. Other than like Re4, Star Wars, Jedi Survivor, I thought would be a good runner-up.
I figured Survivor would be up there
also,
too.
I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is just kind of like a glorified remaster, remake, whatever. What, they take the same map, they punch a few holes in it, throw a few rocks in the sky, and they give you a big hand.
There's a complete underground area too of Hyrule in the game. Like you go into the underground portion of it too.
Yeah, I've been doing the underground portion.
The PSA,
it's okay.
we all have opinions on games. No one is right, no one is wrong to some extent.
Except for Bob.
Robbie's always wrong.
He's not here to argue his statement, though.
Robbie's opinions are always wrong.
Oof.
I hate all of you.
I feel like Spider-Man 2 would have won this one if Tears wasn't on the board.
Right?
I feel like this would have been the one Spider-Man 2 would have won.
But even though Spider-Man was on the board, Re 4, man, come on.
Honestly,
I like how
agree
Alan
with
Wake was. I love how Alan Wake was.
Oh, dude, Alan Wake, holy shit.
It was so anticipated, and it just turned out to be it was a blip. No one has talked about it.
I don't know.
I've been
I've
hearing
heard
a lot of good shit
people,
about it.
I've heard a lot of people really liking it. I haven't even played the first one. I really need to play
I'm not saying a blip as in like it's bad. Like I've only heard good things about it. It never is going to gain the popularity of like the first one or even of any of these newer.
I heard nothing but bad things about it. I heard
really?
that I heard that when it launched, like even people with like very high, like that had PCs that were high end like 2 years ago couldn't even run it.
Oh, I was
On
talking
hi-
about
on, like-
story wise.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear anything about the story, but like I heard its performance was garbage. Like
But
people
that's
who
PC.
have like
Ha, cry.
that's fair. I heard the PC performance was really shit.
Sometimes things do run better at 60 frames.
As I've stated before, I still don't understand the whole 60 frames hype, and I'm more of a
Yeah.
PC gamer at this point.
Yeah.
You love.
I might have to come back. My Xbox is dying, and I'm honestly thinking it's probably just best in a year or two if I just get into Series X rather than upgrading my PC and wait on that for a little bit.
Yes, do it now, please.
Probably not a bad idea.
Do it.
I'll probably do that sometime next year or the year after, like when it goes down in price a little bit, like during a big sale.
That's fair.
Mostly, I'm doing that for when Dragon Age Dreadwolf comes out. I'm
know,
scared if my computer will be able to run it well or not, because that's how I got into Xbox gaming in the first place. My
It
laptop
just
couldn't.
works.
It's your comeback season.
It really is, because Inquisition would not run on my laptop, so I had to get an Xbox One for it to run.
This is how they get you.
It really is.
Best action game, Armored Core 4, Fires of Rubicon.
I figured. I wanted Remnant to win, but
It's a FromSoft game.
Hey,
and it was really good though.
Yeah, it
too.
was really good.
Subset, do you know your Roman numerals?
What?
That's a
Isn't that
6.
6.
Oh, 6?
To be fair, I don't know Roman numerals either, so it's okay.
What do you think? I'm a minority. I don't know this shit.
Me too!
Wow, you're trying to flex your privilege, Blaze.
Hey, I just know my
Okay.
Roman numerals. F off.
Okay.
Hey,
Already over here.
privilege man, you stay out of this.
Oh, I'm not. I'm trying to stop this before we get.
Robbie can edit it out if he thinks.
Yeah, you can edit it out. And it's just a bit. It's all jokes. I love you two greatly.
one do
Except
you love
when
more?
you're in the enemy team in a video game. That's when I hate you.
Which one do you love more?
Sense.
Which Tyler do you love more?
I don't know. You guys need to fight between each other.
That's not how hive minds work.
Fight to the death.
Fight to the death.
Whoever's the stronger Tyler
EC.
will take over.
Basha.
We're not climbing out of pits.
I'm gonna throw you guys in a pit right now, so you can fight to the death for me.
But
Best VR game.
Gemini, will you want to continue on the list?
Anyway, I was chewing on something. Anyway, so for best VR game, at least one Resident Evil game managed to win with,
We all know
Resi
the
Village.
reason why.
Another reason why.
Those massive tracts of land that you're in. Where the fuck are you in this game? Like Eastern Europe?
Yeah.
Somewhere in Romania, specifically.
Yeah, those large tracts of Romanian land. Yeah.
I honestly didn't find the appeal, especially I don't know who's all played it, but her final form in the boss fight, no.
Well, that's my same set. I know what she turns into. That's already a flat no, but I can see the appeal. The only thing, she is not made for me. All right, as a straight man, not made for me.
Not for a gay woman.
Exactly. The one I was mostly not really. Honestly, I wasn't really sipping on any of them other than like Donna, because she was actually.
You tell me
cool.
you didn't sim for Heisenberg?
I
Everybody
was gonna
sims for
say-
No.
I was
Heisenberg.
gonna say, if it wasn't
everyone
for
loves
the
that
lady,
man.
I
if it
love.
wasn't for the lady,
this.
people were
I love
simping
Moreau.
for Strongly McGee.
I love Moreau more. He needed more time. He's just a sad boy. He didn't deserve any of this shit. Heisenberg can go fuck himself. I said it.
Who's just some dude that showed up one day?
I said it. Moreau is better than Heisenberg.
I still have yet to play it, but I know at least of the main four. I had to count for a second.
I played it. I never played Rose, so.
Oh yeah, that's the DLC, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw a playthrough. Really great. This game is great. Should have been everything. All the awards. Reavers, yes.
And then it
yes.
should have went straight into Reverse, and then Reverse died completely, and I'm upset.
Well, Reavers was expected, dude. I was not expecting that to live long whatsoever.
I expected him to at least get to the same amount of games.
No, dude. No, that's really giving Capcom
Well, like have
more
characters from each of the games is what I meant.
Even then.
Reverse was like a multiplayer extra mode, I guess you could say, that came when you got Village.
Yeah.
But like you could play as like iconic creatures or iconic
Playable characters.
from the franchise.
Yeah, like
You fight
good
each
concept, but I knew it's not gonna live long. They're not gonna do much with it.
Anyway, best mobile game. Honkai Star Rail.
This was another no-brainer.
I saw that one coming up. That game has been really, really hot for a while.
I mean, at this point, anything by HoYoverse is a banger by the community. When it
But
comes
not
to
Hello Kitty Island Adventure? Like, what the f?
Yeah, I voted for Hello Kitty.
I can agree with you.
I've never even played it, but like, come on.
Me neither, but still, like, what the f?
But yeah,
Anyway.
Genshin, Honkai, they've all been real good, and they're definitely not like, I know there's a lot of flack of people sinking in a lot of money, but they're not like overpriced.
Even then, dude.
Then we got Zenless Zone Zero coming out soon too, which I've seen some clips of the animation on that game, and man, that
It
game
looks
looks
so good.
beautiful.
Yeah.
They did have to change a few of the, similar to the Tracer bullshit in the very beginning, they had to change some models and poses and jiggle physics.
I will say though, their advertising needs to calm the down.
No, never.
Anyway, so moving on. Best debut indie game was Cocoon. I've seen it on Game Pass.
I thought it was Dredge. I thought the
I thought
boat.
it was gonna be Dredge too.
That will be the boat.
That I didn't play, but it looked like such a good game.
It was such a
Cocoon
fun
came out and
game.
had a really good like story. It was a heavy. It was like a mental workout because it was like a puzzle game too.
That's bullshit.
Someone's upset.
Like why Reward didn't win that one award.
Anyway, best independent game was Sea of Stars, which that was the one you guys had said was really good, correct?
Yeah, I haven't played the game fully. I've only played like an hour into it. From what I've played, it's really good. The animation in it's really nice. The story is very compelling, and I think it deserved best indie game of the year.
I'm still sad it wasn't Dredge or Dave the Diver, but
I concede.
it looks like a cute game. But Dredge and Dave the Diver were both pretty decent looking games, I'll admit. Especially Dredge. I'm sad Dredge didn't win any of these awards. Like, come on.
I did win an award, Gemini. Won my heart.
Good enough.
Oh, so the trash awards, got it.
How dare you? Anyway, best community support, we have Baldur's Gate 3.
Of course.
I feel like that's no surprise considering the one game had a bit of a oopsie whoopsie f***y wucky.
Oopsie
On the
whoopsie.
Yeah,
From what I've
and
been
apparently
told.
and from what has come up recently, it allows me to bring up my drama for the week, I guess.
Oh, bringing this drama into this house, how dare you?
Always, I was looking back at my stories. I was like, damn, I put a lot of drama on this.
You
Good.
put
We need somebody who
you
does
put
it,
as much
so.
drama into the shows. I put movie reviews.
That's fair.
I just do
But
reviews of everything.
turns out that the layoffs from Bungie, the whole meme was that Destiny 2 was going to be best community support, but right before the Game Awards, they ended up firing like 100 people. But apparently that was because they were going to, essentially Sony was going to swallow Bungie whole if they didn't cut these people out.
Well, it wasn't. They didn't really give an ultimatum of that. But if Bungie did reach a percentage quota, Sony would take over due to their contract. So the only way Bungie could have done that was to save money by firing people.
Thank you. Because
And proceeded to not really do a good response after people were unhappy. Like, oh my god, it's such a mess. Big yikes.
I feel like if they would have, because it took them a while for them to finally state that, if they would have said that prior, I feel like they wouldn't have gotten as bad of a backlash. I mean, it still would have sucked, but I feel like some people would have understood a bit more because like, oh shit, if Sony takes over, this game's gonna get even worse. Bungie is at least trying, albeit not in the best way, but it's the only way for them to still keep a hand on the wheel.
I honestly feel like the way that they went about it, because the way that it came out is that people were contacting other people that they came in today and had a meeting and said that they were fired. No notice, no nothing. Some people came and logged in and their credentials were already wiped off the system. Like,
So they didn't even try to even give him a heads up. He's like, nope, doing it now.
yeah, which I can understand when it's a big transition with two big companies like that. I can understand that, it's the big CEO big boss man, so whatever he says,
The people
happens
getting
in
all
that
the money.
instant. But there's a drama for the week.
Drama for the squeak.
Yeah.
Then moving on to best ongoing, we have, honestly, I'm not surprised, the winner, considering its massive redemption arc. I kind of would have thought like Apex or Fortnite would have won just because of how massive their community is.
Or even Genshin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like any of those three. Actually, honestly, all of these were pretty big communities, so
Oh yeah.
I'm actually surprised it was Cyberpunk. But I'm also not surprised just because of how much of a glow up it's had.
Oh yeah.
If this would have happened like around now, I could tell you that Fortnite probably would have won.
Yeah.
They got something like going on.
They have a partnership with Lego. They have a partnership with Rocket League for a racing game where people can make their own tracks. And they came out with a rhythm game as well. That's kind of like Guitar Hero
Which are collabing with like other artists, and that's
with like
you know how that
actual
goes.
songs and artists and yeah.
And you can also use those same songs and stuff as emotes in the BR version of it, so you can legit do concerts and people can join in.
Interesting.
They gave everybody a bunch of free packs of iconic songs.
Like legit, Fortnite isn't even the same anymore.
Y'all ready to
on
play?
this-
Y'all ready to play Lego Minecraft in Fortnite?
Yeah, that is literally what the Lego Fortnite is it's Minecraft, where you have an open world sandbox where you build houses and other Fortnite characters join your village.
And just like Legos, you can build anything you want. Unfortunately,
God, that sounds so cringy.
it does.
Holy
but for a
shit.
game, this was the plan. Boy, they even planned to make Fortnite a place for people could just do other than BR, just to get on it and just play the game.
I don't think you understand, Trent. 2 weeks ago, me and Subset played Guess Who in Fortnite.
To be fair, I've been out of touch with it for so long since my Xbox decided to like heavily glitch out and claim that Fortnite was installed. So I'd uninstall it because when I'd go to launch it, it would say you don't have this installed. And then I would turn my Xbox off and then I'd turn it back on and it would say Fortnite was installed. And then I'd look at the information and it says there was like 0, so it wasn't installed. And it was just constantly glitched to where like it was installed, but it actually wasn't. So I just gave up on ever even looking at the game.
That's fair. But
Now
now
do
you
it
have
again
like,
when you get a new Xbox.
yeah.
Well, no, I'll be
'Cause you
getting a
have-
new hard drive, so I'll probably just re-download it.
Oh,
And
okay.
You have the base mode, no build tournaments, and then you have player created modes for like 6 pages of like
can
Death
play
Run and
Zombies,
Guess Who,
clones,
zombies.
I was
like
gonna
a
say,
lot of
don't-
other shit.
Don't tell me this because, like, earlier this week, I looked at it because I was looking at all the stuff I was gonna have to reinstall next week, and I'm like, I don't want to, but I'm gonna reinstall this. And a part of me really kind of wants to see if they'd be willing to get back into it.
We
But
already
then
have it downloaded.
God damn it! Don't do this to me.
Yeah, Gemini, join us.
The biggest thing that was pushing me away is I remember playing the battle royale, and these fucking addicted like.
Half the lobbies are
snorting, like,
bots now. It's fine.
I was gonna say it because, like, I remember it was all these, like, fucking addicted snorting, like, Mountain Dew high toddlers being able to build faster by just slapping their controller, and they have a goddamn, like, 18-story, like, castle built and snipe me in the back of the head, and I'm, like, still trying to figure out how the hell to make a door.
See, that's why we do no build mode.
Yeah,
That's not
exactly.
the thing, because my geriatric fingers aren't fast enough to make an 18-story tower.
And they just made that better too, with how the movement feels now too.
A lot's going on with Fortnite. This is the new Roblox,
Ew.
Technically.
Alright, well. Blaze, do you want to take over the next portion of categories?
Sure. Next, we got games for Impact. For that one, a lot of these games I'm not familiar with. I picked
never heard of
Space
any.
for the Inbound for my nomination. That's just how it looked. But the winner was Chia. I am not too familiar with that one, and I'm not sure if any of you guys are either.
I
not at all.
am not. I think
I'm
I
not-
picked
yeah.
Terra Nil, so.
I did hear that game was very well acclaimed, so I think it was deserving that one won over the others, because a lot of these are not ones that a lot of these are games I'm not really familiar with or like play much of.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them either.
But
I know a little bit of Goodbye Volcano High.
I have heard a little bit about that one, yeah. But next one for innovation in accessibility. I didn't think it was gonna be this one, but Forza Motorsport won.
I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
get
dude.
this. I don't get this one. What's the?
Okay, so other
What's
than
the
like
innovation?
your like colorblind features and whatnot, they also been a hot minute. But Forza does a lot for for this shit. Like, you can change.
My only thing is Hi-Fi Rush is on this list, and it is a rhythm action like combo fighting game.
Yeah, but it's just the innovation and accessibility for that bit. Like, I can understand that, but I wouldn't say it was innovative for this segment, anyways.
It's fair, but I don't know. That's mainly why I picked it, because this one.
I don't know why Diablo 4 is on here.
Why is Mortal Kombat on?
I'm gonna be honest.
Or Street Fighter.
Okay, well, no, Street Fighter did something big with its little world there. It was innovative.
I don't know. There's always a few titles in the game or categories in the Game Awards that just all of them just seem like they were just put there because they're big names.
Now, before they kind of earn this spot, I'm gonna be real for you. And I don't even like racing games.
Yeah. Next is Best Performance, which another win for Baldur's Gate 3. Neil Newborn, or Neil
deserved it.
The voice actor for Asterion, everyone's favorite elf vampire. I think if he didn't win, it probably would have been Ben Starr for his voice of Clive in Final Fantasy 16. And if not him, Yuri probably would have won for being Spider-Man.
I'm gonna be honest. I thought Alba would probably be winning for his voice in Phantom Liberty.
Okay.
But that's just me.
Idris Elba is a good actor. His voice is very unique.
At the end of the day, they all did fantastic jobs.
Yeah. And then next, Best Audio Design. The one we were really hoping at least won Hi-Fi Rush for Best Audio Design. If that didn't win, I would have lost my damn mind.
Now, for the people who were saying that they wanted either Dead Space to win because there was a little conversation for that, I love Dead Space. I was there for the release and shit, but Hi-Fi won this. I know that they revamped it, made the ground up for Dead Space, but I'm sorry, Hi-Fi Rush really earned this.
Yeah, definitely. The whole game was built around the beat and the music going in the game. Also, just the fact of what was really smart about them, I think I might have mentioned this in last week's episode, but it was just very clever for them to have a streamer mode, or when people are streaming the game, it switches to their own original music, so creators don't get copyrighted striked when it's playing official songs.
Which that is a very good idea, and I never played it, but I feel it was well deserved of its award.
I didn't play it, but yeah, I did. Especially when you have two people yapping your ear off every day about it.
You essentially have two different game experiences though, because the songs would be on different beats for the each different level.
Yeah.
Depending on whether you're going through streamer mode or not.
Next is Best Score in Music, which I'm glad at least Final Fantasy 16 won one of the awards. They won for Best Score in Music, which makes sense. A lot of the music in Final Fantasy 16 was intense.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Baldur's Gate had such good music.
But Hi-Fi Rush has really better music. I'm sorry.
Baldur's Gate already has how many awards that we've talked about?
They should have got a clean sweep across the board.
They
Clean
practically
sweep.
did do a clean sweep. They won 25% of the awards.
And this
Not
is just
enough.
one award. They won even more awards with the last one.
No, should have been all the awards. All the awards.
100 years Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. That's what Skyrim's been doing for decades now. It's time for Baldur's Gate's turn.
The next is Best Art Direction, which that went to Alan Wake 2.
Which, in the defense of it, for, you seeing Hi-Fi Rush was also a good contender in my opinion. Alan Wake did a lot in its visual designs. So.
I honestly thought that Zelda would have won this one, because even though it is the same map, it is Hyrule.
Yeah, but it's still the same style from the previous one, so it's not much of a
it's still beautiful.
It's still beautiful, but it's not really one else. It's the same case as Life of P. Life of P, no, I'm sorry, no.
See, Life of P I can understand, because that's mainly dark and dreary and...
Yeah, there's a certain aesthetic that you saw, which, Bloodborne did better, so.
Yeah, Bloodborne 2
still.
win. Bloodborne off of PS4 win.
The same case why I didn't expect Super Mario Bros. Wonder to win this either.
No, that's why you gotta get Remnant when you get your Xbox. It's on Game Pass.
I think I can probably download it, or is it only for the Series X?
It is optimized. I'm not sure if there's a
It's for everything.
Well, I'm still waiting on my hard drive.
That's fair.
Down to our last two awards. We got Best Game Direction, which that one. Okay,
Wait,
I was
game direction.
I was just making sure I wasn't accidentally re-talking about the same one we were on, because Alan Wake 2 won this one as well for Best Game Direction.
Yes, sir.
You missed one.
I did?
Miss narrative.
Best narrative.
Wow,
It was
okay.
also Alan Wake.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 should have won Best Narrative. What the
We got a triple threat.
Got a triple threat, Alan Wake 2 with Best Narrative.
What the No.
Even though like this is like ground up for Alan Wake 2, it did really nice.
You gotta remember, this has been like the titular sequel that everybody's been waiting for and hinted at in Control. This has been multi-game crossing.
Like, even though it had some fumbles, it definitely did a lot of good in these regards.
And then last one, Game of the Year. I feel like it's already obvious because it was obvious when just picking on nominations.
And Subset said it 30 seconds into the video.
And he said it 30 seconds in. Thank you, Subset. Game of the Year,
no problem.
Baldur's Gate 3.
People don't realize the amount of awards these f***ers got, okay? It was all over Twitter, all over the internet.
But yeah, this was, honestly, I knew that they were gonna win. Even just looking at the other nominees, like...
Just the first month, same thing like what happened with Elden Ring. The first month, this game just was everywhere.
It's the sheer, like, diversity and dynamic things that you can do with D&D logic in video games.
Yeah,
and this is a perfect representation. That, like,
it literally gave you a way to play D&D online with your friends in, like, a set way without feeling it like it feels like a video game.
You can make a full game that actually just feels like you're just hanging out.
Exactly, going through bullshit and whatnot. And when you're playing with friends, at least, you can do so many bullshit that feels like, oh yeah, it feels like a unique experience.
I can't wait for all of us to finally get it so we can finally do a session of...
Oh, what, you mean when we all get it and we're gonna spend the first 2 hours doing character customization for our first, second, and third?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm looking at you, Gemini.
Hey.
What, 3-4 hours on one character?
So here's the thing. Here's what I know is going to happen. I'm going to get into character creation. I'm going to be like, I should play something different because, you know, I played kind of the similar things. The entire thing. I'm going to spend at least an hour debating what kind of new character I'm going to play. Then last minute, when you guys are starting to get impatient with me, you're done with your smoke breaks, your dinner breaks, your bathroom breaks, you know, your I gotta one out breaks. I'm gonna be all like, I panic, and then I just go with the same character I've been playing for the past 8 months. That's what's gonna happen. Because
I never got to finish my stealthy boy in our session, so I'm gonna make a stealthy boy in Baldur's Gate.
Well,
and I'm gonna rob everybody blind.
I'm pretty sure rogues are just as broken as they are in regular D&D and tabletop D&D.
Yeah.
Go for your sneak attack.
Yes.
But I think that pretty much covers everything that we wanted to talk about. So yeah, that was a fun episode. I think we covered quite a bit between the awards, the controversy that happened during it, and what we're hyped to see come next.
Oh yeah.
Just wanted to thank everyone for tuning in and listening on CJSW or on our YouTube channel at the PopCulture Effect. Thank you, my lovely cast, for coming on. Got Menace.
Oh yeah, always a good time. And make sure to check out the other channels on CJSW as well.
Always. Gemini, thanks for being on here again.
A pleasure as always.
And the lovely Subset.
Heyo!
Thank you all for tuning in. We'll catch you on the flip side. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Resident Evil Shooter 1. Heyo!